Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. The governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, and the state government saw another face-off when the governor refused to deliver his customary address to the state legislature. The disagreement was over the national anthem, which the governor said should be played at the start, but the government insisted it is traditionally played after his speech. Governor Ravi also disagreed with the text of his speech prepared by the government, which he said did not reflect the facts. When the issue of flood aid for the state was raised, the governor abruptly left the house. Tamil Nadu has accused the federal government of not releasing reconstruction aid to the state, which was devastated by a powerful storm and unprecedented flooding last year. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who switched political sides recently, has won the vote of confidence in the state legislature. His new allies, the BJP, has 78 members and the Hindustan Awam Morcha has 4. His own Janata Dal United controls 45 seats in the House. With the backing of his latest allies, Nitish Kumar was sworn into office last month after he dropped out of the India bloc. According to sources, he was dissatisfied with its election preparations and the fact that he was overlooked as a potential prime ministerial candidate. The realignment of political parties comes just months ahead of the country's general election, which is expected to be a bitter and direct fight between the opposition India bloc and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's National Democratic Alliance. Large-scale gatherings have been banned in Delhi for 1 month till March 12th as protesting farmers prepare to gather in the city on Tuesday. In the next few days, more than 200 farmer unions representing over 20,000 farmers are expected to gather in Delhi. It is expected to be a replay of the demonstrations that occurred 3 years ago, which forced the government to roll back its controversial farm laws. Authorities have imposed various restrictions after farmers began their march on Saturday from the states of Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, and Haryana. Police warned that anyone violating the restrictions would be arrested at the scene. The demands of the farmers include a legislation that would ensure the minimum support price for their produce with legal guarantees. 8 former Indian naval officers have been freed by a Qatari court after they were put on death row on unspecified charges. The Foreign Ministry in Delhi announced on Monday that 7 of them had already left the country and returned to India. Authorities declared in January that their death sentences had been changed to varying prison terms. The charges against the men who worked for the private company Dara Global in Qatar were not made public by either India or Qatar. The court of first instance in Qatar ordered death sentences for the men reportedly for spying. India, which expressed shock, said it would consider all legal options and appealed against the sentence. Sri Lanka and Mauritius are now on the Indian digital payment system known as UPI after France became the first nation to join last month. The service was launched jointly by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Ranil Wickremesinghe of Sri Lanka, and Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth of Mauritius over a video link. The facility allows Indians visiting these countries to make payments using mobile apps as in India. Reports say bank cards with the RuPay feature can also be used in these countries. UPI or Unified Payments Interface supports multiple banks and banking features within the system. The first Hindu temple in the United Arab Emirates is set to open on Wednesday in Abu Dhabi. Reports say Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will unveil the Sri Swami Narayan Temple during a 2-day tour of the country. The project was launched in 2015 and Prime Minister Modi also unveiled a model of the temple in 2018. According to reports, the government of the UAE gifted 17 acres of land to build the temple in the country, where 3.5 million Indians live and work in various sectors. Footage released to the media showed the magnificent inside of the temple for the first time. An unusual phenomenon of mosquito tornadoes has caused panic among the residents in parts of Pune city in Maharashtra. Swarms were seen along some stretches of the Mulamuta River, which witnessed a significant rise in water levels, and this resulted in rising numbers of mosquitoes in the area. Swirling like a tornado, they hovered over the river and in the nearby areas, which have become a major cause of concern for residents. After several complaints, the workers of Pune Municipal Corporation have started removing the excess water and hyacinth plants. Political parties, which took the second and third place in Pakistan's general elections, have reached a deal to form the next government. The move is expected to anger jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan, whose supporters won more seats than either parties. In a joint statement, the Pakistan People's Party of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and the Pakistan Muslim League faction of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif announced their intention to set up an alliance. Khan's PTI party was banned from the polls, but candidates backing it contested as independents and won 93 seats. Sharif's PMNL took 75 seats and Bhutto's PPP won 54 seats in the polls held last week. The two parties controlled the government till August after forming an alliance to oust Khan from office. The head of NATO has said that Donald Trump's assertion that the US would not defend its partners in the event of an attack if they did not invest sufficiently undermines the security of all in the military alliance. Jens Stoltenberg warned that Trump's statement put American and European troops at higher risk. In a warning that stunned many, Trump said he would encourage Russia to strike at any NATO member that did not fulfill the funding requirement of 2% of its GDP. President Joe Biden described the remark as appalling and dangerous. NATO is a military alliance of 31 nations, 29 from Europe and 2 from North America. Its key pledge says, when a member is attacked, it is considered as an attack on all member states. According to the Pentagon, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has delegated his responsibilities to his deputy while he returned to the hospital for treatment of an emergent bladder issue. Austin, who is 70 years old, is in intensive care at Virginia's Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, and officials said it is not yet known how long he will be in the hospital. The defense secretary was criticized for not disclosing that he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer and had been hospitalized in December and January. According to reports, for 3 days, President Biden and his defense officials were unaware of Austin's health troubles. The defense secretary later apologized for what he described as miscommunication with his officials. Amidst reports of intense Israeli airstrikes on the southern Gazan city of Rafah, Israel claims to have freed 2 male Israeli hostages in a raid. The men are described as being in good medical condition by the Israeli military. The Palestine Red Crescent Society had earlier said that Rafah was being attacked and that several fatalities had been reported. It comes as the world community issued warnings about Israel's intended offensive in the city, where 1.5 million people are seeking refuge. The freed hostages were brought for examinations at the Sheba Medical Center, as footage released by the military showed a helicopter landing at an undisclosed location at night, but it was not clear if the hostages were on board. A breathtaking kite festival witnessed stunning displays of kites at Tanirbhavi Beach in the city of Mangalore over the weekend. ONGC and MRPL supported the event, which was organized by a group of kite enthusiasts called Team Mangalore. According to the organizers, dozens of Indians and 13 kite flyers from Thailand, Ukraine, Greece, Estonia, Sweden, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam took part in the event. They said the months of January and February are considered the best, as the wind during this time is ideal for kite flying. Many kite festivals are held around the world, and organizers said only a select category of flyers were invited to showcase their design and flying skills. Vintage and classic cars made an impressive drive along the roads of Delhi in the annual rally organized by statesmen. The display, which is one of the oldest across the Indian subcontinent, has been staged since 1964. Federal Minister Hardeep Singh Puri flagged off the 57th edition of the rally outside the Statesman building. Vintage and classic car lovers lined up the roads as the glistening vehicles drove past, while they were assessed in various sections, including preservation of originality. The display was accompanied by a fancy dress show and a grand parade along with a live band. Women in Nepal adorned in maroon-red outfits lined up to perform rituals along the Bagmati River, marking the commencement of their Pardes Yatra pilgrimage. Having journeyed 13.5 kilometers on foot as part of the arduous fasting ritual, the devout pilgrims, guided by tradition, visited revered Narayan and Shiva temples in and around Kathmandu. Throughout the month, they adhere strictly to a diet of rice, beaten rice, sugar, ghee, and other sacred foods, while reciting tales from the holy books for union or familial prosperity. Enduring illness and injury without medical assistance, they embark on one of the toughest fasts, with their unwavering dedication culminating in the immersion of offerings into the river upon the ritual's conclusion. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.